Let's get started. Thing number one, how are you doing? Be honest. Put it in the chat right there. Thing number two, how hungry are you? Because I'm hungry. I'm like a 10 on the fucking hungry scale right now. Like, this is seriously maddening. So I intend to increase my sanity and decrease my hunger by shoving some food in my mouth after I shove my appetizer in, all right? You ready? Let's go. JLJ, hello, Caden. It's been a while. JLJ, it's been like maybe 3 days. Good morning to you. Caden just says hello. Maybe a hint, possibly. Are you in a different time zone? Caden finally moved away to Colorado or somewhere. Fun fact, I was born in Boulder, Colorado. And then we moved immediately because we realized that Colorado financially was a big shithole. So we moved to an even bigger shithole eventually, California. But not before experiencing the humidity of Texas and all that. I'd like to think that I actually truly grew up in Texas because that's where I learned how to talk, my alphabet, the benefits of fucking having a pedophilic babysitter, just all the good stuff. Randy just texted me. Randy, calm down. Give me a second. Randy wants to watch some movies together. Randy, after watching Poor Things with me, he's really still recovering. Now, JLJ, cover your ears. The shit's about to get offensive. But Caden, give me your thoughts on Poor Things, or tell me with shame that you haven't watched it yet. And then I'll make fun of you. Boulder, Colorado is much better than San Diego. I mean, from what I remember of it, from my first 2 weeks of being alive, which is basically nothing, I've been told that it's a lovely place. Has tons of mountains. Quick breath, because the asthma is acting up. Loved Z, thank you for the what is that? And thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate it. I was just thinking about how I missed your last stream. There was no last stream. Yesterday it was a pre-recorded because I'm a lazy soul. I'll pirate it tonight. If you pirate it, make sure it's in 4K, all right? Because the thing I have with people pirating, it's not the illegal part. I love illegal things, but when you pirate shit, you lose a lot of the quality and the clarity. And Poor Things is a movie that benefits from clarity. Thank you very much. I've got to pay attention to physics. You're a fucking loser, Ian. You could. I have enough physics right here, all right? We can learn about compression and density right here, all right? 300% density increase leads to how much increase in mass? That's right, more than zero. Trick question, because my saliva gets absorbed into the paper while I, compress it. So there you go. That's your physics lesson of the day. You don't need your class. You don't need your teacher. All you need is me and my dense paper. Wait, hold on. Having some trouble swallowing, by the way, because the doctors have noticed a particular swelling in the throat. They think it could either be asthma or some other detrimental health effect. Not caused by paper allergy, by the way. Some of you conspiracy theorists need to calm down, all right? I don't have an allergy to paper. That's not why this is happening. It's probably just me being super depressed underneath the surface or something like that. I don't know. It's hard to tell. If you were a school teacher, what grade and subject would I want to teach? I'm a big history guy. I love teaching history, or I would love teaching history. But honestly, I'm not very knowledgeable in history. But then again, how many history teachers really are knowledgeable in history? A lot of them are just people who lived a long time and happen to have a piece of the Berlin Wall and a fucking sack on their table. So maybe, possibly, I could be a history teacher and not know jack shit. But I do like history. It's fun. However, I like English a lot more. I like to think that I kind of have a way with words, so I would like to use that to my benefit. However, I would prefer to use that by, starting some conspiracy theory podcast about 5G towers instead of becoming an English teacher. I hated English teachers, and I still kind of hate them. Like, most of my English teachers that I had, except for Mr. Pranowitz, by the way, stand-up comedian guy, he is so awesome. Aside from him, though, every English teacher I've had either did lame shit like ban Gatorade in our classrooms, or just didn't respond to my messages when I was asking to get my grades up and to revise my essays. Limp dick Mr. Anderson. I will totally continue to ghost and harass him till the day I die. You seem fluent in Japanese. That's right. I'm going to pin that. I got taught by my dad. He's very fluent. He himself all I got to do is, for one, he's not fluent until he drinks a particular type of Japanese potion. And we at home call that bourbon, and it would take about 4 glasses to get him started. So yeah, I understand. Paying attention to physics is for such, and Ian's already gone. You see, he's already ditched us. He used to be so young, full of life, engaged in the streams. His innocence has been sucked out of him, all right? The physics class is my Dyson vacuum in the garage, and Ian is my fucking carpet. I'm so ashamed of you right now. Well, it's fine. You got to grow up, but really, Ian's growing down because he's moving down to just schoolboy behavior. We're engaging in real big boy activities here. Let me just eat my paper for a second. Have any wise words for my mom? She just walked in my room. Guys, got to make me your damn spaghetti already, all right? It's been way too fucking long. And you guys keep getting sad and de-energized. You somehow forget to, get new batteries for your coffee maker every single time. And you forget to caffeinate yourselves right when I'm about to go into your house and eat your, whatever it's called, stroganoff. So you guys got to, sorry to be mean, but you guys got to man up. Also, I'm out of town because I'm turning 21 soon. So by the way, you might see videos. I might be drunk posting at 3 a.m. in the morning. So by the way, Caden's mom, get Caden's little brother's ears plugged for that because I'm going to be saying some wacky shit. But aside from that, most of the time I'm going to try to be not drunk because Caden, a really good lesson for you is you have to drink with moderation. And I seriously mean it because, I've witnessed my dad, and one thing that you should know from personal experience is that if I, were to continue drunk posting, I will drunk post myself into my grave. You've seen me almost do that over the years, I'm sure. I don't remember everything I fucking posted, but you should drink without moderation. Only do that past your 30s. I was told that until I turned 25, my brain is extra susceptible to degradation via alcohol. So I intend to not do that. When's my birthday and where am I going? I'm going to Utah to attend Sundance. And the tickets sold out so fast, but we managed to get some last minute tickets for a movie called How to Have Sex. I don't know what it seems like a really stupid movie. Seems very melodramatic, but whatever. I'll take the pubescent tears as they come inside the movie. One I'm really excited for, it was called, I forgot what it was called. It was called like Jazz de France or some French name. And it was about Max Roach when he went to France and when Miles Davis went to France and they recorded stuff. Apparently the film is just a really well-made documentary. If you make a documentary properly enough, you could make it about anything and I'd watch it. All right, Caden, is your mom out of the room? I didn't realize, when I started my drunk rant, I forgot about how your dad died. And so I was like really trying to avoid it. But now that she's gone, also your dad's a great lesson. So there you go. All right, now that she's out of the room, and then Caden, you're still in the room. Another conversation I want to have with you, continuing our little rant about Poor Things, is I feel like a movie like Poor Things only comes by every 5 or so years. I am serious. Like this movie is so special to me because, especially now, but even back then, in general, I know everybody says cinema's dead, but even back in the day, like in the 90s, you would get some properties excuse me, I burped, and also I'm finding my thoughts. There would be like a once in a blue moon situation where you get a property that, for one, was not corny, and two, was original and was not a sequel. Like even in the 80s and 90s, sequels came and went all the time. It's not a new thing. And I feel like it's always been this maybe once or twice, maybe twice or 3 times a decade where you get a movie that's so weird and so special. Because Caden, I finally watched Asteroid City. I talked about this before, and it was not acceptable. And after dealing with the extreme disappointment, I almost cried when watching that in the worst way possible. It was not fun. It was not a good time. And I realized you can make your movie as wacky and quirky as you want. You can make a quirky movie, but please make it good. You guys need to stop making movies during the writer's strike, because a badly written movie that's not trying to be left field, I feel it's fine. It's average, but I'll forget about it. Some movies are meant to be forgotten, but if you make a quirky movie and then make the writing also bad, it's so much worse. It really just emphasizes how bad the writing is if you try to be weird, but you're not a writer, and it sucks. So, you get these weird movies that are trying to be super deep or philosophical, but the writers are all gone. And I'm realizing, oh my God, you guys are wasting so much production value and it all sucks. So, Also got to talk to my wife. Hey, congrats on the marriage, and I'll see you around. I'll be doing 3 things at once. Okay, that's good. Sounds very sexy. Do those 3 things at once. By the way, I want to know. Wait, how old are you? Have I asked this question before in a previous thing? Hold on. I remember you've been at. Oh, you're 13. Okay, scared me for a second. People lying about their age on YouTube. It's not a new thing, but let me think. What was I talking about? Speaking of being a loser for paying attention in school, I got to pay attention to health and physical. Oh, I didn't even read that first. Okay, great. 1 second. I also haven't eaten breakfast yet, and I do feel like this being my first meal probably does something to me, but I'll figure it out. I'll eat some Oreos right after this, and it'll all be okay. Oh yeah, by the way, we got this much left. Why are you 13? That's a good question. Sia, no, you're gonna answer the question. You need to answer the question. Why are you 13? Well, my mom and my dad loved each other very much exactly 13 years and 9 months ago. Such an epic question, Lubsy. You got to answer it, all right? Be honest. Hold on. Well, okay, while you answer that question, I don't know what business the two of you got about clarifying your age, but I'm just going to eat my paper right now. Yeah, Caden, I got to know your thoughts on Wonka, about Poor Things, and about one of my least favorite movies I saw because I hate how everybody talks it up. And again, I don't know if I'm one to speak because I haven't watched a Ghibli movie before this, and it's my only Ghibli movie I've seen, or whatever it's called. But I saw The Boy and the Heron. Wasn't even good. I am so sorry, all the animators who busted their fucking fingers up just to animate a movie that was not, it had no actual story, by the way. The reason I'm 13 is because 13 years ago, my mom, someone's stealing from my fucking book. All right, thanks for copy and pasting, but I appreciate it. 13 years ago, they loved each other very much. They hugged very much, and out came me. Yeah, they had goofy time in their goofy room, and then you popped out. I remember 2011. That was 13 years ago? Oh my God. 2011 was 13 years ago. Let me do the math right now. What year is it? It's not 2015 anymore. No, it's 2024. Holy shit. Yeah, that was a while ago. What was I doing in 2000? I was being homeschooled in 2011. I was busy. You know what happened in 2011? The applesauce incident with Miss Charbonneau. Oh my God, my 3rd grade teacher. She was terrible. I still contest that I did not stomp on that applesauce container like my teacher said I did. And I did not get pulled out of the school by anyone other than my parents acting on my own terms. So, just so you know, the applesauce incident worked out well for me. Miss Charbonneau's reputation has since been tarnished, and her nose mole's gotten even bigger. It's like the size of a pea now. It's really scary. I really feel like that's a cancer and it's growing. Maybe it represents her terrible teaching skills because I've seen her recently. She's not a very charitable person, and she still is not. So I'm just going to assume that she's slowly dying of cancer. Way to go. Thanks, Miss Charbonneau. Fuck you. Lying about the applesauce. I would say I'll kill her, but she's already got that taken care of. Okay, this is how much we got left. We got maybe 3 bites left of this. It's really funny that I'm like in teacher slamming mode because JLJ, fun fact, is the son of one of the faculty at my old school. I still can't get over that. I think it's so funny. I don't know if she knows, if Miss Bravo knows how often you watch my content. But for one, I really thank you for being engaged. And if your mother is forcing you at gunpoint to watch my shit, Miss Bravo, let it go. All right, let go of the past. I'm already out of your life personally. But for your son, if your son is acting on his own terms, I say to you, JLJ, thank you for sticking around. I really appreciate it because, Miss Bravo definitely was just off to the side while I was getting expelled, and she was kind of going, Brian, that's stupid. Why would you say that? Why would you do that? And I was a little manic at the time. And, she went with the flow. She definitely was not a Brian supporter, though. So I'm surprised that, the family has converged like this. Teachers have fallen off more than students. I was in a bar with an elementary teacher, and she was under the influence of many substances at 6 a.m. You know, did I tell you about this? My father had a run-in with my old special ed teacher, Miss Ramirez, and if you ask your mom about it, she'll tell you about how fucking batshit insane Miss Ramirez was. And I think I've, at some point when I knew you in person at high school, I probably told you too, Miss Ramirez is apparently planning on writing a CCA expose book. Or not just that, not just about the school, about the whole damn district. She apparently is just has a huge bone to pick with the entirety of the education system, and she is feigning her support for it and this whole fake school spirit bullshit thing that always annoyed me. I hated how she did that. And she's actually deciding to just write a whole book, and she's planning on including me in that book, and she was planning on making herself out to be the martyr because through her narrative, every single, or at least nearly every single student who was underneath her guidance got to walk across that stage. And, you know, an issue I took with that is, for one, according to her, I am one of only 2 students who managed to never walk across that stage, and that stage was the graduation stage. You know, and by the way, none of the fucking kids in her class that I knew walked across that stage. You want to know why? Because of COVID. Nobody walked across the stage, but they graduated. That's what that means to her. So, I mean, her issue with me was that, like, I got pulled out of your school because before I could walk across the stage, right, and graduate. And because of that, she holds it as some sort of like contempt that I'm like the one that got away. When in reality, like, all that shit had nothing to do with her. It was really me, kind of just, that was me going through my natural ebbs and flows and my natural process of figuring out how to go about stuff in other ways. And she definitely made it out to all be about her. And she still holds me in contempt that I did what I did to get pulled out of the school, when in reality, she is just a stupid, dumbass. It's like actually retarded, by the way. She's an actual, like, just yapping retard on the side, watching me do my shit and always conflating it to her. And then she's planning on writing some book, and she is also planning on selling that shit at Barnes & Noble and bribing people to put it on the New York Times bestseller list. I guarantee you it's all a money ploy. So I don't trust that woman one bit. And just because you're a teacher, and just because you got a couple decades of formative experience, doesn't mean you know what the hell you're talking about. A lot of these special ed teachers, I realize they're not there because they're good at working with special ed kids. It's because they were special ed kids, but older. If Miss Ramirez was a student, guarantee you she'd be in the same damn classroom that she was yapping at kids at in the first place. That is my Miss Ramirez rant of the day. That book is not, that book is not going on the NYT list. Yeah, she doesn't have enough money to bribe them. She definitely doesn't. And also, her book will suck. I know, like, if she writes the way she talks, no one's going to be able to make it 3 pages into her book. Special ed's the easiest teaching discipline to go into. You know what I did? I don't really tell too many people about this. This is a really funny thing. And at this point, there's one viewer, and I'm guessing that's you. So it's just you and me. When I was, this was before, like, this is kind of the beginning of my junior year of high school. I prank called Miss Ramirez as Jimmy Trojan, who was a special ed teacher himself. And I used a voice modulator to make myself sound like a deep-voiced Southern man. And, you know, hello, I don't know if you know this, but I got some experience myself, and I actually resell things. So, and imagine this, but the voice is way deeper, and it doesn't just sound like me doing a stupid accent. But just so you know, if you ever wanted to discipline your students, I know a couple of them have been acting out, referencing me. Just know that I got some shocking sticks, and I got some pretty large rulers. I think you call them in America yardsticks. So you can use that, and it'll put a big red mark on their ass, and it'll put a big blue mark in their brains, and bookmark that shit, reminding them to not fuck with you and no more. Remember, you're the queen of the house. Nobody fucks with you. And she immediately hung up the phone call. She probably knew it was me. But that modulator didn't do too much good, for being honest. But I think a part of her, for a second, really wanted that ruler. It breeds idiots. You're saying CCA? Oh, you're telling me. I mean, you were in that pop culture class, and I mean, I know that high schoolers are stupid, and I know they speak actual cotton candy nonsense, but the fluff that they were talking out of their mouths was unusually insane. Like at pop culture, like most classes, I could tune it out. But in pop culture, I seriously could not ignore how stupid some of the drivel some of these kids were spouting was. Hey, Johnny Cook, you're still here. Hey, I fucking salute you. You don't even know what the hell we're talking about. This is between me and my older classmate. Because this was JLJ used to be in high school with me a long time ago. But don't tell me I'm alone, JLJ. I'm serious, because like the stuff that they would talk about was so actually hollow. It was nothing. It was actually nothing. It's like if you take a ball of cotton candy and hollow it out, so there's just air inside. Cotton candy and air. That's the physical equivalent of what these people were speaking out of their mouths. It was unfortunate because I wanted to think about pop culture, but my brain was so numb after they were all speaking nonsense about their favorite Taylor Swift song that I could barely think anymore. So, right? Wasn't Mr. Spilkin's class just a little grading? I liked what was that movie? The one about fuck. What is his name? Are you kidding me? Okay, great. We have to Google it now. The blind guy who made music. I like one of his albums. It's crazy to me that this is the one time in my entire life where I can't remember his fucking name. Give me a second. His name is not Ray Brown. That's what my brain's coming up with right now. It's not Ray Brown. What the hell are you thinking about, Brian? Ray Charles, thank you. Finally, Jesus. Ray Brown. It's just because he's black. Great. Thanks, Brian. Ray Charles, thank you. I like that movie. That was a great movie. And my favorite part was how Kanye, sampled his impression of Ray Charles as a part of his Gold Digger sample. I love that. That's so good. Where it's like, I've never heard of a feature done by an actor in the studio pretending to be another famous musician. Like, is it a feature from Ray Charles or Jamie Foxx or both or neither? So, it's great. I thought that was such a interesting little thing, but that was the best thing Mr. Spilkin ever did. I liked his course material and I liked his assignment ideas. However, the guy was too high and mighty, man. That guy was a Louis C.K. tryhard, thing number one. Thing number two, he was a fat hypocrite because he wouldn't let me do shit. Thing number three, he was also really lame. Like, he would actually shut down any potential constructive dialogue that would further the class to prevent misunderstandings between student and teacher. Why does he do these things? However, he maintained a friendly demeanor with me when we were passing each other awkwardly in the hallway, so I don't know what feelings that man still had for me, but whatever they were, I can't pin them down. Excuse me. But yeah, just you talking about how you were in a bar with an elementary school teacher under the influence reminded me of that. About how my dad was just so flabbergasted. And when he was talking to Miss Ramirez, and she was just, she wasn't under the influence of any drugs from what I know yet. But I think the greatest drug is her own adrenaline her brain shoots into itself, because she really was off her rocker. But I wish her the best. I hope that she wakes up and realizes that she's living a fool's errand, I guess. I don't know. Was there only one special ed teacher? No, there was tons of other really normal ones. I got the one fucked one. And this has been a pattern for a while. Like, before that, I got Mr. Breon, and his class was actually schizophrenic. Like, one of the most dysfunctional special ed classes. I've spoken about it many times before. It's the focus of legends in my eyes, because that was a legendary period of time for me. Where was her classroom? It was kind of in the upper level. It was at the edge of school. So it was on the second level. I don't even remember what number it was, but it was like F something. Far corner. If you go past into the schoolyard, that little area where the little nook and cranny where it'd be the fucking bushes. Mr. Spilkin's class, how it was in the second level. If you go there to the nearest corner of the entire campus, that's where her classroom was, if I can remember properly. I think I know the woman you're talking about. Here, let me show you her face. I don't give a fuck. If she emails me saying that I'm doxing her, get out of my face. You made this shit public domain. You peddled your Instagram account to your students, all right? You know what you did, all right? Now it's time for the seesaw to tip. Where is she? That's my transgender text argument. Here it is. Oh my God, there she is. Seen this woman? Imagine this is a fucking milk carton and this is my little carving on it. I know exactly which class that is. Yeah. Don't tell me you haven't seen her walking around lecturing a kid about how he's going to walk across that stage. Yeah. So you're very familiar with all the grunting that would happen, all the little grunting sounds that could be heard from outside the class. It was unfortunate because there were like 5 other special ed teachers and they were all relatively normal. Ever since 6th grade, the only special ed teachers I got were the worst ones. Miss Scocco was the worst one. She just did not know how to cope with a disagreement with a student. And also she was insane and she thought I was a sexual predator because of the accidental fucking silly putty thing. If you've listened to my song, Suspensions, off my newest album, Retrospective Introspective, you should know exactly what I'm talking about. I go through the details explicitly in gruesome detail. Since then, though, Mr. Breon was just actually insane. Like, his class was fucked from the beginning. And it wasn't just the teachers, it was also the students. And Ms. Ramirez was 1 out of like 6 special ed teachers. I could have gotten anyone but her, but she just had to be the one I had to get. She had to be the only mentally ill special ed teacher I had to get. And of course it sucked. Of course it backfired. And we're like, oh, I guess there's just a problem with special ed. No, motherfucker, you guys picked the worst teachers for me. Like the only slot that was available for me. Real shame. A real damn shame. All right, this was the last piece. I want to thank you guys for watching day 716 of Eating a Sheet of Paper a Day. I'm going to write my thesis out right now. This is a really bad thesis, so you're not even ready for how shockingly awful this is going to be, but I think it stands for my values, all right? And it's me standing up to the man or the woman, whoever's in charge after so damn long of being out of it and not even being involved in it. Whatever, I'm living in the past today, okay? It's talking about and living in the past, but it's okay. I didn't even spell it properly. Give me a second. That has 2 L's. That has a Y, not an R, Brian. Calm down. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. That'll be day 717 of Eating a Sheet of Paper a Day, and I'm probably going to be in Utah when that happens. Make sure to live, laugh, cry, and also not die. And until next time, this is goodbye.